Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Box of the Technical Trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Tuesday, the 30th of July. These are the charts of the day. Well, the market had a sloppy day, but came back off the lows rather nicely. A lot of stocks that we follow and some new ones perked up today. If you take a look at Amkor, stock rocketed for $1.60, almost 20% on 3.8 million. That's the biggest volume that I can see since way back in November. And that was also a bottoming type pattern. So this was more of a breakout type day. When you look back a little bit longer, you'll see that there's a key resistance in this zone up here. Let's call it 11.5 to 12.5 range. Right now 978. I'm looking for that to extend because of the way it closed today near the upper end of the range. I think this stock has some follow-through potential. ARCT is thin, but it's a beautiful chart. Look at the triple top here over a year and a half period that was broken, pulled back for a few days, and then popped today, especially following through $1.56 or 12.5%. Now, again, only 200,000 shares, but that's decent volume, believe it or not, for the stock, and OBV is running up. Looking back at the a big gap resistance there at about, so let's call it 19 and a quarter-ish, 20 range. 20 is going to be your target going forward, but we've got to get to the high from late 2017 when it reached about 15. So 15 and 20 are your targets going forward on ARCT. Chegg, well, it's been on my top 30 list for a long time. You can see this is a 3-year rising channel, and it's been, from 3.5 all the way up to the mid-40s is a monster move. And recently, after consolidating for 3 months, it popped, broke out, pulled back, and then today popped all the way up to 45.77 before backing off a couple points. Still up 3.74, 9%. I'm looking for a mid-channel test at around the mid-50s. That should be your next target. CNX, beautiful little pop from this junior oil that had come down from 18 all the way down to 6, losing 2/3 of its value. But today, an explosive move, 20 million shares. I think it's the biggest volume I've ever seen in the stock, except for way back here, perhaps. Yeah, when it traded 72 million back in 2016. So it's a 3.5-year high in volume on a breakout day where it blew through all moving averages through resistance as well. Now, all it's needed is a breakout above the 8.25 area, I should say. You should see 9.5. You may see as high as 11. So those are my two targets going forward, 9.5 and 11 on CNX. Today was an exceptional day, closing at the very upper end of the range. $1.63 or 26%, a good day for that. Luna, now I've been following this stock for a while. It was a swing. It came out of the falling wedge, broke out, and had a little bit of a tight, really tight move into an apex of a wedge on low volume, and been perking up of late. I suspect we're going to see a move to about close to 6, and ultimately 7.5, 3/4. Those are my two targets going forward on Luna. LXC with an explosive move today, taking a test of the declining top sign that goes back a year. And lateral price resistance as well, so no wonder it backed off. If it does get through, though, I have targets at 6 3/4 and almost 8. MEDP with an explosive move went to new all-time highs today. Checking out the long-term channel top, which may be meaningful at this point. We're looking at a follow-through run up to about 86.88, 79.61 right now. Today was a really important day as it jumped 11.93 or 17.6%. on a whopping 2.8 million, which is the biggest volume we've seen since February. NBIX broke out of a base as well. This is going back about 8 or 9 months. You can see where the resistance at these tops in this zone right there was taken out with a pop and a close above that range. Resistance about 100, but my target for an intermediate swing would be about 114.50. Invite, been on my list for a long time, but in particular when this V bottom and then the right-handed extended V flag here broke out above the 14.5 range, I put a swing on it for a move to 25. It reached that, and then some, reaching 20, almost 27. The pullback was nasty, but it held the prior high from back in here, and that low, pullback low, and the channel, in terms of the new rising, ascending, accelerated channel. Now you can see the move up today took out the April high to a new, I believe, all-time high, indeed. So at this point, I'm looking for a fifth wave. This is wave 1, 2, 3, and 4. When fifth wave is underway, it can lead to at least 33, 35, and it may get into the mid-40s. Looking good, like the OBV, like the volume picking up too. Overstock swing continues to extend, now up for 7 days in a row, folks, after this reversal day. And volume and OBV are moving as well. I don't think it's done yet, but we did reach a swing target today, which I had at 23 and a quarter, reaching 23.86 today. Next target is 27, and then 30. Impinj, PI, popped with a nice bar, engulfing the reversal bar, 461 to 13%. Volume was the biggest in 3 months. I think we're going to probably test this area where resistance lies right about 40, Let's call it 42. Then we're looking at 50 plus. PIRS popped yesterday, pulled back, and today reversed off the near fill of the gap. Didn't quite fill it, but had a strong move. And reversed back up to close with a gain of 48 cents or 9% on $1.5 million. Not as big as yesterday, but look, if it does get up through here, and this is your next resistance, around 6, we're looking at 7 and 8. Skyline Champion, a nice pop. Declining top sign broken here. That was a swing. Then it worked its way higher. Formed the flag for 6 weeks. It broke out today. Up $1.83 at 6.7% on nearly $1 million. I'm looking for this to extend now to 32, 34.5, etc. Silica exploded today on big volume of 8 million. That's big volume for that stock. Biggest volume on an update. On an update since for years. Most of these big volume days were on the downside. The last few years where this thing dropped from mid-60s to under 10, but it did double bottom and then retested again here. The key for this one's going to be, can this get to 13.75? If it does, I'll be looking for a test of 16 and possibly as high as 19. SMSI, big pop 2 days ago, little pullback yesterday, but not much. Today, engulfing reversal bar, up 77 cents or 14%, 2.75 million. Not the biggest volume, but I do think follow through gets into 7. If we can back and fill and form some sort of consolidation in the next few weeks, this may get to 10 yet, maybe 11. Trex, big pop today, broke through the declining top line, a large wedging type consolidation, which took more than a year to develop. But the breakout today over the high from last February, which was about 79.5, closed it up 81 and change. Now I think what we're going to get is a challenge of this high here, coming up next around 91. That's your next target. Workhorse still at swing and still looking very good. Broke out of the flag here, a flag there. It moved up for a couple days stalled, but today popped and broke out across the 450 range, closing 452, up 31 cents or 7.3%. Volume was solid at 4 million. I think this goes much higher. 5.75, 8 are your next targets. XON is a swing. This thing popped a couple, 3-4 days ago, backed off the retest, but it's coming on again, up 4.8% on 692 today. I need the volume to pick up across 2 million and the stock to break out above 885. If that happens, 10.5 and 13 are targets. And finally, Zeop, one of our swings as well, broke out of its coil, pulled back on an inside day yesterday, and then exploded today for almost 10% on 3 million shares. This thing looks higher to me. 7.75, 9.5 are your targets going forward. And that's it for the charts of the day tonight. You guys have a great evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let's make some money. Good night.